Well, it took forever, but it finally arrived. The Revopoint POP2. I've already tried it out a few times with not very good results. Anyway, here you go. I picked up this power bank actually off Amazon. I'll just flash the Amazon screen right here. Pretty cheap. Great stats. Works good. The alternative is this one, the mobile kit. It's pretty pricey for what it is. Not great stats, if I'm honest. I'd skip that. So I'll just set it up. This time I'm actually going to use my phone. I got an iPhone XS. It's pretty good shape, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's just not up to the task right now. But I kind of think about my problems stem from software. All right, so you see it turn blue. It was doing its little calibration or whatever you want to call it. Skip ahead to just putting the phone on there because, quite frankly, who wants to waste a lot of time on something like this? Because I've already wasted enough. Way to hook up to this because they don't support iPhone to the point where you get a nice hardwire connection. Not that the app supports that, so I got to hook up by Wi-Fi. Recommend maybe turning the auto join on your good networks off. That error is a bit common. Sorry about that. I'm just skipping ahead because originally I was taking apart these turn signals that I want to do, like because the mouse and the stems and whatnot. It doesn't show up very good there. Got to change some settings, which you couldn't see. There's dark mode settings for darker objects. It might even help with some of the reflective ones, though it has not been the case in my experience. Oh man, now I got to keep this thing together. I'm not sure what I'll include. I try to clip this down to as short as possible so you'd see what I went through. And just to get, a quick scan. So I'm just going to glue this together. You can see how it looks there on the screen right now. It doesn't look very promising. So I'm just going to slap some glue on this. I should really edit this out. I'm going to edit this out probably. Okay, it's all together. Now I can finally scan the damn thing. I've scanned, I think, what, 2, 3 objects with minor success, but nothing's been great so far. And we're about to see exactly why. I don't think that I think the software is a bit, it sucks. Not a huge fan. So I'm switching here to dark mode, to like dark object scanning. I prefer high accuracy. You got to rehook up to it. All right. So you can kind of see it. I decided to try to use that white box as a background because I thought it might give me the contrast. All right. Now, in their ads, in the videos, it's almost like they're squeegeeing or painting the scanned objects. But I'm finding that that doesn't work so good. So I got to move very slowly. And you can see occasional hang-ups in the app. And you could even see the zoom is changing. I don't know why it changes, but it's not very good at it. Maybe it's not a focus feature, but I'd really rather it wasn't there. Yeah, you're just going to see what's going to happen here. So I'm trying to move it as slowly as possible, but it's doing all this stuff. You're getting hang-ups. And even if I am just doing this slowly, I got to reposition myself here because I can't really go around very smoothly from my position. Because the printer is here, it's going to make it even harder. And this is right where it starts to go wrong. Very shortly. Oh. And that's so far been my biggest problem with it. Oh boy, please stop. All right, so that's apparently what I'm looking at. Okay, so I moved on. I thought, yeah, maybe it's unfair. Another thing I'd like to do is to see, what kind of accuracy can this thing scan from the abused remnants of an old World War I rifle. Just see what kind of bedding I can get on there, or if I can get like the just where the gun likes to sit, right? I don't know the technical term for this. I'm not a gunsmith. But I kind of was like, okay, a lot of angles here. Just kind of curious. How well can I get these angles? And I figured it's also something light enough. So something I've planned on scanning anyway. The reflections off the light here is terrible. I'm sorry. try to scan it nice and slowly. I just want the top. I don't need anything else. You're seeing some hang-ups there, and it was starting to drag a little bit. It didn't show too well in this video. I could try another video at some point. I don't know, but you know, it's just it changes the zoom. The accelerometers in there, which are supposed to keep it nice and balanced, know roughly where it is, keep track of things, doesn't work too good. Now I can understand here my possible problem being the fact that I've got that white base. That white base is gonna maybe change the focus. It could be a focus problem. No idea. Either way, that's my results, trying to scan it. You saw what I did. It's didn't cut this part down. I cut everything else down poorly. And another thing I really hate, I gotta mesh this thing before I can even delete it. This app is probably one of the most infuriating to deal with. Also, I should also point out some of my actual successful scans were done on a Surface Go. And again, even the Surface Go, even though I have a USB Type-C on there, this doesn't support, or the RevoScan app does not actually support hardwired connections yet. It's all wireless. So I can't even use my thick desktop computer to make it. But this was pretty much the most successful thing. I'll just move it onto the computer now. If you know what it is, you know what it is. But in case you don't, that's the cowling of a 7ECA Citabria. That was pretty much the closest thing I've had to success using my iPhone. You could see it did not do the texture any favors. Like, holy frick, bud. It looks like asphalt. It got the screws okay. It got kind of like the generic shape alright. There's a good chunk missing out of the front because I kind of scanned this a little bit from behind the propeller. So since the back of the propeller is black, flat black, because you don't really want to get that halo effect if you're flying the plane. It did not really pick it up, so you got this big gap around the spinner, which kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm just going to show you what I've had the most success with. This app is incredibly and painfully basic for needing a software key. Like, this should just be freeware for Pete's sake. I could continue smoothing this as much as possible. You could see it got a little bit better, but I kind of suspect that if I could maintain like a scan for at least more than 30 seconds without it going bonkers, it would probably get the textures better. But in my case, if it's more than 30 seconds, it's already had a devastating hang-up. And does that thing like we saw earlier, where it basically clicks and drags that thing. That's my experience with the POP2. I spent a lot of money on this. And at the end of the day, you know what? It wasn't worth it. It won't compensate for a severe lack of talent when it comes to 3D design, and that's what I got it for. It was not what I would say worth 1,300 Canadian. And I got that when they said there was a deal on it, but they included this weird RST, which was 25%. That added up to $200 Canadian. Perfectly $200. It's kind of suspicious, but I guess at the end of the day, there was no sale. I kind of hope to get my money back because this has been an absolute ripoff. So, my personal recommendation for you, don't get it. It's not ready yet. The program, like, it's just missing so much functionality. And I can't really get too much into it right now. But, like, you saw that I couldn't really delete that scan until I meshed it. That's annoying. And I'm not sure if you noticed earlier, but when I was trying to use the Revo Studio and minimize it, maybe that wasn't included in the video, but it won't let you minimize it by, you know, you can't just kind of click and pull it down to the side. You have to actually click the minimize, which is surprisingly annoying when you're already frustrated. Anyway, that's the end of my rant. Don't buy it. It's maybe my thing's bugged. Maybe I'm pissed off that it's bugged. So, my personal experience, I'd say don't. All right, that's it. I'm sorry. Sorry for going on like that. Bye.